We are your election headquarters, and in the studio with me I have the founder and flag bearer of the All People's Congress, because they have sounded a warning against religious interference in Ghana's electoral process, particularly the proliferation of fake prophecies. Well, Hassan Ayariga made this statement during a courtesy call by the National Commission on Civic Education to his office as part of their engagement with political parties to promote a peaceful election. He joins me in the studio with more. First off, what is prompting this warning?
You see, many Ghanaians believe in their prophets. Let's say their pastors. And in this crucial election of 2024, I'm pleading with the pastors to stop the prophecies of who is going to become the next president of Ghana. Because this election is a crucial one. If a prophet should come out and prophesy that candidate A is going to be president, and at the end of the day, that candidate doesn't become a president, then it's going to be war. It's going to be chaotic. People will come out and say, no, this is the results and it has been turned. And we don't want that. We want a peaceful election. We don't want the interference of prophecies by pastors and so-called men of God, from imams, chiefs, and all that. They should allow the election to go without prophecies. Let every Ghanaian go and vote. Let all the political leaders go and campaign. If you win, that's the will of God. If you don't, that is not from any pastor prophesying A, B, and C. In the last election, you saw it. Many of them prophesied that John Mahama was going to be president. Some said Nana Addo will continue. And all these things, you know the effect of it. And in this crucial 2024 elections, I think that some of us need to tell the pastors the truth, the imams the truth. Let's pray for a peaceful election so that we come out of this election peacefully and continue to carry on with our businesses, our transactions, because we're already in crisis. And we don't want what happened in Kenya to happen in Ghana or other countries that is happening. We don't want that. So all we want from these prophets is a peaceful election. They should pray to God for God to choose a leader for us. Their prayer should be that God choose a leader for Ghana. It doesn't matter who is coming. It could be APC, it could be an independent candidate, it could be a political party leader. Let's pray for God's guidance to choose a leader for Ghanaians and have a peaceful election.
The opposition NDC, in a press conference, raised concerns about the credibility of the Electoral Commission. They say they do not believe the Electoral Commission can organize a free and fair election. Do you believe the EC is competent enough?
I think that per the processes so far, following the processes so far, we all agree that we should have a credible election, free and fair election. But all these free, fair elections means that we all have to be part of it. If you allow somebody to run an election without you monitoring, you don't expect it to be free. Sorry, you don't expect it to be fair. So all we are saying is that if we all want a credible election, then we must all put our polling agents to be at the polling stations to monitor whatever is happening. You cannot just sit down and say it's going to be free. It's definitely going to be free, but you cannot say it's going to be fair. So if the NDC is coming out to say that they don't think that it's going to be a fair election, then what they need to do is to put their agents at the polling stations.
But do you think the EC is competent enough to organize a free and fair election?
I think, of course, they've organized several elections. I'm not putting
with this current leadership?
I'm not putting it in context of leadership. You asked the question of EC.
Okay.
And I'm giving you
Are you confident in the current leadership to organize a free and fair election?
If we are not confident in them, then we will not have a peaceful election.
So you are confident in them?
I'm confident that they will organize a peaceful election, but I'm also confident that we should monitor and make sure that we get to what we need.
I would go into the structures you are putting in place as one of the opposition parties to ensure that you monitor the upcoming elections, especially because I know you're on the campaign trail. We'll get into that shortly, but let's look at this call for debate between the two top political parties, the NDC and the NPP.
I think that is unfair. to other political parties. Why NDC and MPP? Are they the only candidates or party contesting for the election? No. We have APC, we have, I'm sure the other political parties like PNC, CPP will all come out with their candidates. So far we have 3 presidential candidates, the NDC, MPP, and the APC. Why saying that only 2 political leaders should go for a debate? Why is it? I don't know who is calling for that, but whoever is calling for that is not being fair to the other political parties. It's not being fair to Ghanaians, because we are running a multi-party democracy where we believe that all political parties must be given equal platform, equal opportunity to sell their policies and visions. So if we say the NDC and the MPP, what we are doing is that we are being biased. Whichever institution is organized is being biased to the other political parties, is already promoting the NDC and MPP, and which is what we have been campaigning against. You realize that in most talk shows every morning and TV stations, it's only representative of NDC and MPP. And when you ask or write to the producers and say, you want to send a representative of APC, they tell you that this is the decision of management. So we don't understand why we run a multi-party democracy and it's always NDC and MPP. First of all, let's go to the debate. What is the debate all about? It's about political leaders coming out with their manifestos, policy, their visions, strategies to build this country. Over the years, we've seen that of the NDC and the MPP. When I mentioned when Baumia mentioned digitalization, I said, go to my manifesto, it's there, under e-governance. But because it is the bigger party saying it, people are running and campaigning against it. When I said 24-hour production, manufacturing for businesses and companies, 3-shift system, in my manifesto in 2020 and 2016, nobody said anything. But now when President Mahama mentioned it, everybody is talking about it. So let's allow the political parties to come out and debate. Debate here means that come and sit down, like you and I don't have anything in front of me right now. I'm giving a piece of paper and a pen, write my question if I don't understand, and answer. But when we say debate, and you are given an iPad, you come with your political party manifesto, you sit down, and you are reading to the public. I don't see as debate. And this is what the NDC and people over the years have been doing. They read manifestos to Ghanaians to listen. That is not a debate. That is a reading of manifesto. I challenge them, the 2 parties, the NDC and MPP. I am challenging the 2 of them to sit with me without their manifesto, without their iPad, like I'm sitting here, and let's all talk about our policies and visions for Ghana, and let's see who will be the best out of the best.
I'll be glad to see that.
I would also like to hear that. Not the issue of coming and then you sit down. I mean, even children have stopped doing that. In secondary school these days, when we go for debate, we don't sit down with pamphlets. We go into the hall, and we're only given a piece of paper, come out and talk. But in current presidential debate, it's appalling. It's disgraceful. In all the debate that I have done with President Mahama, President Akufo-Addo, I never went in with any piece of paper. I just walked in like that, and they were always carrying their manifesto booklets. And I find it ridiculous, you understand? So for me, the 2024 debate should be organized in 2 segments.
Okay.
Segment number 1 for political parties.
Okay.
And segment number 2 for independent presidential candidates. So that we'll see, because Ghanaians are tired of the 2 parties. And the issue of this is my policy, that is your policy. Sit now, tell us your policies without reading from your manifesto. Let the Ghanaian people hear and make a decision who they want to vote for 2024. Because the 2024 election is a crucial one. And we are tired of promises. Because promises over the years have failed Ghanaians. They've failed us drastically. And I don't think Ghanaians are interested in the 2 major political parties anymore. And you will see the results after the 2024 general election. I'm sure even now, when you're looking at the terrain, you'll see that Ghanaians are tired of these 2 parties and do not want to vote. And if we are not careful, we have a huge voter apathy in 2024.
You have been on the ground. You've been engaging voters. You're looking to position yourself to be that third-party force Ghanaians should look out for. Let's get into your manifesto. Is it ready?
Yes, it's ready.
Let's look at...
My manifesto right here.
Let's look at your plan for security. We've been discussing the issue about security and how we're having terrorist and jihadist attacks in neighboring countries like Togo with Ghana's porous border. What's your plan to ensure that the country is safe?
I think that, first of all, we need to begin to start to build a security force, security institution, devoid of political party interference and political party boys or job for the boys. We have security institutions that very few of them are elite, and the rest of them are job for the boys. Take it from the police, from the military, from the national security, from SEPs and all that. These institutions, most likely, most of the time, are job for the boys. A security institution is an intelligent institution. And as APC, our policy is that before you get access or you get enrolled into any of the police security institution, you must have first degree. You must come with a first degree. Because it's an intelligent institution. We cannot just put anybody to become a police officer, anybody to become a military officer, anybody to become a national security officer, because we are looking for job for the boys. That is what affecting our security agencies and their capabilities. Now, the issue of what is happening in the jihadism, look, let's be sincere. Politicians are part of it. Look at the situation of Boko. Boko has been in war between the Mamprosids and the Kusasis for the past 3 years. What has government done to be able to stop this issue of conflict between the Kusasis and the Mamprosids and other, regions in the northern sector? We allow it to escalate. We don't care. The president is not even worried about it. What do you think is going to happen? Jihadis from Burkina Faso, if one side of the conflict decide to go and hire men, okay, if the Mamprosids or the Kusa decide, oh look, we are short of men, let's go and look for fighters from Burkina Faso to come. What do you think is going to happen? We are importing what? Terrorists into our communities. And the borders are open. You just walk from Burkina to Ghana, from Togo to Ghana. You don't even need, nobody cares about you. So all the institutions, all the borders in the 2-3 zones are not being properly taken care of.
How do you propose we take good care of them?
What I propose is a data system. That nobody just walk into Ghana with just saying that I'm traveling to Ghana. You don't just travel to Ghana anyhow. We need to have security posts in all the border sectors, monitored very well, very carefully.
Which we do.
Which we're not doing. No, we don't do. I come from the border sector. I can just walk into San Council with a motorbike and drive back, and nobody's going to ask me, what are you carrying? The cars just go. The monitoring is an important aspect when it comes to security. We're not monitoring.
What measures will you put in place to ensure monitoring is of top priority?
Yes. Number one, I'll make sure that all border controls are put with proper securities and proper data to monitor everybody coming. You don't just walk into Ghana anyhow. There will be border control, police control system that will monitor every corner of every border coming to Ghana. That nobody just walk into Ghana anyhow and nobody leaves Ghana anyhow. These are measures that and then even all the vehicles. You realize that Burkina Faso, when they are coming to Ghana, they come in with their vehicles, and all they need to do is just to pay money to the agents, those who are the borders, and they will drive in. Whatever they are carrying in, nobody cares. Whatever they are carrying out from Ghana out there, nobody cares. All they need to do is to bribe the officer on duty, and they get through. You cannot just walk into any country. Like you go to Canada and you're going into the US, and you see the control. Go to Germany and go to Italy, you see all these countries and you see the control. Why are we not putting measures to make sure that our security is tight, that we can defend our society? Because when we fail to defend our society, we are putting them at risk. And when we put them at risk, we are putting the whole country at risk. Look at what happened to Trump. So I'm not saying Ghana US is the best, but I'm saying that we can be better than where we are. And I will make sure that we are better off, because I'm going to train proper securities and not just job for the boys, to make sure that they do the right thing and monitor every to and fro movement into Ghana and out of Ghana. And definitely we have border patrol teams at all borders.
How prepared are you for the December polls? Have you elected your officials that will represent the party in all the constituencies?
We have. Right now we are doing volunteers elections. People who want to support, voluntarily want to support the parties. There are many people we are asking to voluntarily support the party at the various community they find themselves. For instance, you, wherever you are, your community, you just volunteer and say, look, this year around, I have listened to Hassan Ayariga's policies and vision. I think that let's move towards the APC and Hassan Ayariga. And these volunteers will come out, because it's very, very capital expensive, what do you call it? Intensive. And because of that, that is why the NDC and MPP are able to manipulate the voters. We are saying, look, we don't have that money like NDC is doing, or MPP. We are asking you, if you want a better government, if you want accountability, if you want probity, if you want leadership, be part of the campaign and make sure we all do the right thing, devoid of monetization of our politics. And then we will get the best leaders to lead us. Because over the years, we don't even ask if the NDC comes and gives us 100 Ghana cedis, MPP comes and gives us 200 Ghana cedis. We're just voting. But we don't even question them where they are getting these monies from and buying our vote. But we want them to do things for us. They will not. They've paid you by giving you the money at the police station, and you voted for them. So what do you expect accountability anymore? So it is high time now we all become volunteers at the police station, at the constituency level, support the APC and Hassan Ayariga, so we can build a country devoid of corruption, devoid of monetization, a country where you and I are so important, and we change our mindset. That is the political idea, change of mindset and attitude. If we don't change our mindset, we're going to be recycling NDC and MPP until the kingdom come, and we keep crying and keep suffering. I don't know the last time you went to the market. Go to the market and see the prices of goods and services.
Yeah.
You don't even understand whether we are in Ghana. Because your salary, sorry, but cannot take you a whole month. I'm sure. Maybe your father or your husband or your boyfriend will have to add something. But
I'm part of the well-paid staff. So.
Yeah, okay. Even if you are part of the well-paid staff, your salary still cannot take you, because prices of goods have gone up. Nobody is saying you're not part of the well-paid staff, but I'm saying because of the difficulties we face, the challenges we face, we don't produce. We import rice, $1.2 billion every year. We don't produce. We import oil. We don't manufacture. Everything is imported. And everybody has become corrupt in the system.
How would you fix the issue of the escalating prices of goods and services on our market?
Yes, that is one of the policies of the APC, is to establish a price control guarantee system.
Okay, how would that work?
That's going to work. You see, we have a policy which is control prices of goods and services in the market. Over the years, because we don't produce and don't manufacture, people import a lot of goods from the market, from outside, and bring it in. When they come in, they determine the price of goods without government interference and monetization. So the price of goods are determined, they call it free market. They determine the price by themselves. So every day, somebody gets up and says, today, I'm selling my gallon of oil for 500 Ghana cedis. The next day, he looks at the market and says, no, I'm selling it 600. Nobody controls it. It's not being controlled, it's not being monitored. So APC is putting a policy to make sure that prices of goods and services in the market are captured under our data system that we want to implement, and make sure that we determine the value, including you and I, will determine the value of prices and goods in the market, so that nobody just get up and start increasing prices outrageously. And that is what is happening. And that is why I say we are all corrupt. Why are we corrupt? You go to the market. The market woman buys a tube of yam for 5 cedis from the northern part of Ghana. He brings it to Accra. He adds prices, cost, and everything, and he's selling 1 tube of yam for 25 Ghana cedis. 20 Ghana cedis on top of the cost of the price of the tube of yam. Are we not corrupt? You have corrupted the price. When we talk about corruption, corruption is not just those who sit in the offices of government and inflate prices of contracts and other figures of contracts. No, it's also those of us who are in the market who determine the price of goods and services by just outrageously increasing the price without determining the fate of the Ghanaian people. That's corruption. We're corrupting the value of the product, and it's everywhere. So if we talk about corruption and we want to say that we are not corrupt, market women are not corrupt, businessmen, we are all part of it. And that is why the APC believes in the national data system and the price control and guarantee system to monitor everything in this country so that we police ourselves. And when we police ourselves, there'll be price guarantee. So you know that the price of a pen is 5 cedis here, everywhere is 5 cedis. You don't go to somebody, nobody can determine. That is why the dollar is suffering. You know why the dollar is suffering? The cedi is suffering? The Abochi sits down in the market, determine the price of the cedi against the dollar. It is not even coming from Bank of Ghana. Today, you walk to him and say, Abochi, I want $100. And he says, Madam, I don't have $100. At the moment, we are selling $100 at 15 Ghana cedis. But my friend get them. If you want, my friend will give you 16 Ghana cedis. You want? Then you say yes. He will go and bring a seat. Who determines the price of the dollar?
So as we wrap up the conversation, let's look at an area that has been of concern for a lot of people, which is Ghana's pension structure. Just a few weeks back, there was a back and forth between Senate, government, TUC, because Senate wanted to sell 6% stake in 4 of their hotels to Rock City Hotel. Now, the bigger concern now is about Ghana's pension scheme and how sustainable it is. What's your plan if you are elected president?
You see, my dear, because of lack of data and proper information monitoring, everything is haphazard in Ghana. People work, their salary is not guaranteed, their jobs are not guaranteed. SNIT is an institution that is supposed to, in Germany or in the US, they call it, what do you call it? Oh, the US people call it, forgotten this word. Once we were talking.
It will come.
It will come.
Yes.
They make sure that where you work, there's a contribution of you as a worker and government and the employer. So you are paying your rent, what do you call it? Your SNIT allowances to government, and the employer who has employed you is also paying this quota. So you are guaranteed your money, your pension, after working 65 years. When you attain the age of 65, your salary is probably 80% of your SNIT outcome.
But here's the case, the concern is not about contributions. The concern is about managing contributions until when it matures for whoever contributed their money to access it.
Yeah, the problem is that we don't have a data for the management of contribution. People don't have any information about the people. they just, the SNIT will come and say, okay, you've worked for this. How many people even pay SNIT in this country? Because there is no data for us to tax the individual employer and the employee to pay tax. So that at the end of the year, his working period, he sees, he doesn't even need to come and ask SNIT. He will see the value of his amount by calculating at home. Because he will percentage it by his salary to his contribution. He knows how much he's getting. But we don't have any data at all in this country. People do things and get away. There are many people who have worked. Today, there are many Ghanaians who are suffering because they can't get their pension.
Yeah.
A lot of them have died. And even their children and family are chasing SNIT for the pension and they don't get. What kind of economy are we running?
So you propose that we should track the system properly.
Properly.
And that's what you do if you're elected president. Well, my guest here on the Pulse, Hassan Ayariga, sharing with us some of his plans and policies. He's proposing that moving forward, government should broaden this debate and ensure that other political parties are involved. Well.